Winter has a way of changing the world. The cold slows everything down, the snow hides things that normally stay out in the open, and entire landscapes turn into silent, white wilderness. And for centuries, people living in the coldest places have insisted that winter brings out creatures that do not appear any other time of year. Some of these stories come from remote villages buried under snow, some come from scientists and military personnel who swear they saw something they cannot explain, and some come from old legends that suddenly become very real the moment someone sees a massive shape moving through a blizzard. These are the top 10 disturbing winter creatures people swear are real. This encounter shook a team of trained soldiers who were certain nothing human could survive outside that night. In 2004, a group of United States Air Force security personnel stationed near a remote radar site in Alaska were sent to investigate a strange alarm triggered on the perimeter fence. Temperatures were brutally low, it was well below freezing, and the wind chill made it feel like the kind of cold that could kill someone in minutes. As a Canadian, I know this kind of cold very well. The team drove toward the section of the fence that triggered the alarm and saw the snow on the ground disturbed by what looked like footprints. But these were not animal tracks. They were the size and shape of human footprints. They continued in a straight line right toward the fence, stopping directly below the alarm sensor. And here is where things made no sense. The team used thermal scopes to look around. At those temperatures, anything alive should glow bright in a thermal viewer, but there was nothing. No animal, no person, no heat at all. Yet something had clearly walked through the snow moments earlier. When they followed the trail, they discovered that the prints continued beyond the fence and then simply stopped in the middle of an open field. No blood, no body, nothing. This incident was reported internally and discussed by the team for years. Many of them believed they had seen the trail of something that looked human but gave off no heat and somehow vanished in impossible conditions. People in northern Siberia swear a tall, silent figure follows them through blizzards and disappears when approached. In the Yamalo-Nenets region of Siberia, reindeer herders have reported a frightening winter phenomenon for generations. During long migrations across the tundra, herders sometimes notice a tall, dark figure following them from a distance. At first, it looks like a person walking alone in temperatures that should be lethal within minutes. Researchers interviewed several herders who have described the exact same thing. Locals believe this creature only appears in deep winter and is a warning to never travel alone. A police officer insists he saw something that looked almost human crawling on all fours across a frozen Long Island shoreline. In January 2015, a veteran police officer from Suffolk County, New York, was on patrol near a quiet stretch of Winter Beach when he saw something moving slowly across the ice near the waterline. At first, he assumed it was a deer that had wandered too far out, but as he got closer, he noticed the movements were wrong. The thing was crawling on all fours like a person pretending to walk like an animal. He spotlighted it and saw a pale, almost gray body that looked thin and elongated. It did not react to the light, it just crawled across the ice, then rose up on two legs. The officer said it was at least 6 feet tall, but completely hairless. When he tried to get closer to it, it dropped back down and crawled toward the water. Then it slid underneath the frozen edge and disappeared. The officer filed a report with his department describing the encounter, but nothing ever came of it. Residents living near a lake in Iceland claim something massive moves beneath the ice during the coldest months. The Lagerflot worm is one of Iceland's oldest legends, but starting in 2012, locals began reporting very real sightings beneath the lake's iced-over surface. Multiple videos show a long, twisting shape moving under the water, even when the surface is frozen almost solid. One farmer recalled seeing the creature break through thinner ice near his field one winter afternoon. He said it was about 30 feet long and moved with slow, undulating motions like a giant eel. The Icelandic government even assembled a commission to analyze one of the videos. After reviewing the footage, the commission declared the sighting, quote, credible, and said the object appeared to be a living creature. While some believe it may be a massive eel or even a rope caught in water currents, winter sightings continue to be reported. Locals insist the creature is real and becomes most active during intense cold when the lake freezes over. A group of miners swore they saw a towering creature step out of a snowstorm and walk along a ridge before disappearing. In 2008, several miners working near Keno City in the Yukon territory took shelter inside their trailer when a sudden whiteout hit. Visibility dropped to nothing, but as the storm started to calm, one of the miners looked out a small window and saw a massive figure walking along a ridge above their camp. He called the others over and they all watched as the figure took long, slow steps through deep snow. They estimated it was at least 8 feet tall. The miners said it seemed to be covered in dark hair but moved too smoothly and too quietly to be a bear. One miner grabbed a camera, but the lens immediately fogged from the temperature difference, and he only captured a blurry outline. The next morning, they climbed the ridge and found huge footprints spaced much farther apart than any human stride. Photographs of the prints circulated online, but no official explanation was offered. Local First Nation communities noted the description closely matched long-standing sightings of a winter creature known as the Nukla. A fisherman pulled something from a frozen lake that he insisted was not a fish and not from any species he knew. On a remote lake in Russia in 2017, an experienced ice fisherman felt something powerful tug at his line. He assumed he had hooked a large pike, but when he reeled the catch toward the hole, something pale surfaced. He described the creature as long and thin with a flattened head and small dark eyes. It writhed in a way he said was nothing like a fish. When he tried to pull it out of the hole, the creature let out a high-pitched sound and thrashed violently until the line snapped. It slipped back under the ice and vanished. He was so disturbed that he left the lake immediately. He later brought several other fishermen to the spot who all agreed they had never heard of anything like it living in that lake. The story spread through local newspapers and remains one of the strangest winter fishing encounters ever documented in the region. 2 drivers witnessed a pale animal standing upright in the middle of a snow-covered highway. In December 1997, a man driving near Elie, Minnesota, encountered something so strange that he pulled over and refused to continue his trip for over an hour. As he came around a bend, he saw what he thought was a person standing in the middle of the road. As he slowed down, he noticed the figure was much too thin to be human and unnaturally tall. The skin was almost white and the arms hung down lower than a human's would. When his headlights fully illuminated the figure, it slowly turned its head toward him. He panicked and reversed away as fast as he could. Moments later, another vehicle came from the opposite direction and reported seeing something tall run into the woods. Both drivers independently described the same creature. Park rangers searched the area but found only long, narrow footprints in the snow that disappeared near a cluster of trees. To this day, the sightings remain unsolved. A research team spotted something climbing out of a crack in the ice before disappearing into a blizzard. During a 1994 scientific expedition to East Antarctica, a small team was traveling along a ridge when they saw motion at the mouth of a crevasse. At first, they thought it was another researcher climbing up, but the shape moved strangely. It was low to the ground and crawling in a jerky motion. One scientist used binoculars and immediately told the others to keep their distance. He said the figure was hairless and extremely thin, with limbs longer than normal for a human. The creature crawled along the edge of the crevasse, then suddenly stood up. The team estimated that it was over 7 feet tall. Before they could take a photograph, the wind picked up and a wall of blowing snow obscured the view. When the blizzard passed, the creature was gone. A family captured video of a creature watching them from the trees during a winter holiday. In 2010, a family staying at a remote cabin in northern Sweden filmed a strange creature lurking near the tree line. The father had gone outside to record the heavy snowfall when he noticed a tall shape standing still behind the trees. At first, he assumed it was a person hiking nearby, but the shape was too still and too thin. When he zoomed in, the figure stepped back behind a tree as if hiding. The father called his family outside and they all saw the shape moving slowly through the woods. When they tried to approach, the figure slipped deeper into the forest and then vanished. Swedish authorities reviewed the video but offered no clear explanation. A driver swears a creature crawled across the road during a whiteout and stood up taller than any person before fleeing. In January 2019, a man driving alone near the small town of Delta Junction, Alaska, got caught in a sudden blizzard. He slowed to a crawl as visibility dropped. While inching forward, he saw something low to the ground moving across the snowy road. He assumed it was a wolf, but as it came closer, he realized the shape was wrong. It did crawl on all fours, but the limbs were incredibly long. When it reached the other side of the road, the creature rose to two legs and towered over the snowbank. The man said it had no fur and looked almost skeletal. It did not look at him, but loped away in a strange, lurching gait until it disappeared into whiteout conditions. The man reported the encounter to state troopers who checked the road the next morning. They found long tracks spaced far apart and not shaped like any known animal prints. The man later said the thing he saw looked like something designed to move through deep snow, but not meant to be seen. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Libby Kozlowski, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!